Your
ahead.
leg too.
Go ahead. It's recording.
Okay,
Your head and your leg.
I worked up in the mountains for about 5 years. I never got hurt. I went down on the flats down above Benton, and I cut a big oak tree, and a limb broke out of it and come down and whacked me right on the head. The guy working with me said, "I can see right down inside your head." And I said, "Oh boy," you know. But I went down to the hospital, and they sewed it up, and I lost a couple days' work, but it was good, and I got over it. And
You hurt your leg too.
well, yeah, a log rolled on my leg. We would drag the trees in with the crane and lay them on a pile, and I would measure them and jump up on the pile and cut them. And one day, one rolled, got my leg fast, and I spent a week in the hospital on that one. But I was very fortunate that I didn't get hurt any more than that, you know. I was down sharpening my saw. The circular saw was 52 inches, and I had to sharpen that a lot of times twice a day, 3 times a day. Well, my brother-in-law, George McKeel, was working with me, and he was cleaning up this night. Well, I was out, straddled the saw, I was sharpening it, and all of a sudden he decided he was going to clean inside, and he hit the switch. Here that saw was running 550 revolutions a minute between my legs.
Oh my God.
I sat onto a stool that I had special. I just slid the stool back slowly and stood up. George turned purple. He thought sure I was gone.
Oh my God.
I went right back, I turned the power off, and I said, never again will I sharpen the saw with the power on, you know. And I shouldn't have been doing it then, but yeah, things like this happen. And
My father never had a car, and so when Floyd came along, he learned me to drive, and I got a car. And I had to learn to drive through everything, and I had to go to work no matter rain or shine or what. So one morning I got up and we were having a flood. And I drove right through it because I didn't know any better. And I did get through it, but they told me afterwards I could have floated. And then
that is the train that keeps me on track with my drops. I take 14 drops a day, and I have been for probably 20 years. Because I went to my eye doctor 17 years, just one eye doctor. I have had glaucoma for many years, and it's about to catch up with me.
darn,
Need a drink, Graham?
no, I'll be okay. I learned to drive, and I had quite a ways to drive every time to go to work, either to Blum or else down to Catawissa, which took quite a while. But I was glad I had learned to drive before he left. I had quite a few bad experiences, though, especially when it comes snow. I turned around one night and almost hit 2 or 3 cars,
Mm.
and
Now I know why you don't like snow.
no, I never did after that. I would never drive on snow after that.
When I was cutting logs in the woods, I had to carry my power saw up to the mountain to get where we were. Well, I finally told Eva, I gotta have a Jeep. So I went and bought a Jeep, and I could drive right up the log roads. And I bought 5 Jeeps in total over the years while I was working in the woods and on the sawmill and things. I always drove a Jeep. It got me where I had to go, and
What kind was your car, Mom?
Dodge.
I bought an old Dodge, and then I traded it in for a Chevy a couple years later, about a year later, and then before Floyd came home, I traded it in for a Lincoln.
Ooh,
It was only about a year old
wow.
when I bought it.
So
When I
you,
came
The
home,
Lincoln was beautiful.
when I came home, the guy came up and he was driving a new Mercury. What did we do? We bought the Mercury. 10 years later, the kids were still riding in the same old Mercury. They thought it would never wear out.
I really liked that Lincoln. It could go anywhere. Floyd took it up over the mountain one day when it was really snowing hard, and it went right along real good.
Now I do remember you used to have the Suburban,
Yeah, we had the
big blue Suburban back in the day. And now you have what's that, a Ford
Dodge Caravan.
Dodge Caravan?
We've had this probably 5 years,
Mhm.
I would say, you know. Maybe a little more than that, I don't know.
it's a good running one.
Yes, I like this one. I like that Lincoln the best of any though. Boy, that thing, it was like riding
Mm-hmm.
on air. Never had no trouble with it at all. It went wherever I wanted it to go, except in the snow. I wouldn't go out on snow after I had that experience. Never drove in the snow.
We might be driving in snow home.
We'll be fine.
Mm.
So before the car, you used to just have to walk everywhere, or
Yeah,
would you
everywhere
take
we
horses? Or
That's why she was walking back from the store when I saw her.
they didn't have public transit back then,
We
obviously.
only had a coupe, we couldn't pick them up.
went, as we
Because
got,
we only had a coupe car, 2 people's all that could get in it, you know. However, we did put 4 in it, didn't we?
Mhm.
We used to go up to Stookies when we were going together. Well, she had to sit on my lap, and it was kind of crowded, but we made it.
Oh, I bet that upset you.
We like Stookies barbecues.
Mhm.
Still around, but they're not the same.
No, not the same anymore. Well, you didn't even get out of the car. They'd come out and bring your food right to you. At that time, back when we were going together. They'd come out, take the order, and bring the food back. And
Okay, do you have any final words for us?
we enjoyed our life entirely. We never had a day we couldn't enjoy.
we thank our God for giving us all these years.
Mhm.
It's only through Him that you get this far in life.
You're right. How about a final kiss?
Oh, yeah.
All
I
right.
bent your nose that time. I should have tipped my head a little bit more.
Okay, are you ready for me to turn it off?